Whenever we talk about clothes, right, we need to focus on first thing is the style of clothes we are choosing, the color that we want to keep, and the details in it. So the first two things, that is the style of the cloth and the color of the cloth. These are the two things that you should always worry about when you are generating it for the first time. That is when you're writing something in your prompts. Like the style of your cloth that you want or the color that you want should come by writing the prompt. You should not decide on what kind of style I want to keep or what color I want to keep. By this, I mean that imagine that you want to make a image in which you want to make the character wear a gown, let's say, right? So you should not decide upon that the gown should look like this and the color should be like this. You have to generate and see if you're getting that particular style or color or not. I have seen people doing this. They decide on their own that the gown will look like this, the gown will be long, full gown, or it will be a short gown, there will be slit, the sleeves will be like this, or I'm gonna keep this shade. They just decide that this is the shade I want the gown to be. Now, the problem is that if you decide that this is the color I want for the gown, you are not sure if this color is going to come or not. So, before deciding upon what kind of dress or color I want to keep, first check if you are getting that or not. Yeah, so whenever you decide on what kind of cloth you want or what should be the color of that cloth before generating that cloth, do not decide on this should be the cloth or this should be the color of the cloth. This is the very first thing. Now, to explain these two points, let's look at few of the examples. So now imagine that I want to create this character and he should be wearing a gray t-shirt and black pant. So here in the prompts I have written wearing a gray t-shirt and then black pant, white shoes, standing in full body shot. This is my prompt. Now by writing this prompt, I am getting something like this as an output. So I generated it 8 times to check. So not 4 times, but 8 times, because maybe 4 times I was not sure that, what kind of dress is coming consistent or not. So, like, let's say the first time I generated it, I got these 4 results. So, out of these 4 results, one of them was a shirt, which I did not want it, right? So, out of the four, three of them were shirt. Out of these three, two of them were consistent in terms of colors, right? The third one, this is like still a shirt, but the color is bit darker, if you can see here, right? So okay, I was not sure that if this is the consistent color shirt or not. So I generated it once more. Now from the 8 generations, I can see that okay, shirt is coming consistent. Like okay, instead of in the first time I got like a shirt, instead of a t-shirt. In the second go, I got 3 t-shirts. The fourth one is also a t-shirt, but it's the full sleeve t-shirt. But here I can at least see that out of 8 generations, right, at least 6 of them are like almost consistent t-shirts or almost similar shades. Out of these, I can see that this is the most coming shade or the consistent shade that I can keep. So now I can be like, okay, I can keep this as my dress. I can keep this as a specific color for this particular character. So now if I have to make him wear this dress, that he should wear a gray t-shirt and a black pant, this is something I can keep as a reference for the dress, that okay, this is how the dress will look. It'll be half sleeve, it'll be a round neck t-shirt, it'll be a black pant, and there is a belt, right? So now the belt is not an issue for me here because the belt is coming consistent. If I can see here, the belt is almost consistent in all the images. So now that belt is not an issue for me. If the belt is not coming in one or two images, I can add the belt. Or if now here I can see in most of the images the belt is coming. So now I am pretty sure that the belt will come. So I don't have to remove the belt. I'll keep the belt as it is. I'll just add the belt in few images where it's not coming consistent. Because I know removing the belt will be difficult here because out of 20 images, maybe 18 will come with belt. So instead of removing belt from 18 images, I'll add a belt in two images. How to add a belt if I'm, let's say if I am not getting a belt in one or two images, just pick this brown shade, pick a brush, pick this brown shade, and just roughly make a belt and then you paint it. You'll get the belt very easily, right? But this is still a easier example to take. Now we just wrote a prompt. Also in the prompt, if you see, it was not a very clear description of the dress we want. Like I wrote here wearing a gray t-shirt, but I did not describe how exactly the t-shirt was supposed to look. Like I never mentioned that the t-shirt was supposed to be a round neck t-shirt or it was supposed to be a half sleeve. Still I got half sleeve consistent or round neck consistent. So this is like an easier prompt for me to keep. I know that the shade like gray and black is coming easily. This dress like round neck and half sleeve is coming consistently. I don't have to worry about too much thing. But if I feel like okay, maybe few of the images the round neck is not coming like round neck or the sleeves are not coming as half sleeve, I can still mention here that the dress is supposed to be a gray t-shirt and a half sleeve t-shirt. So instead of just leaving it as gray t-shirt, I can describe it as half t-shirt. Now to explain this point, now same example, I'm just changed the dress a little bit. So now what I did was first go, I wrote this wearing a gray t-shirt. Now instead of black pants, I just changed it to white pants. That's the only difference here. I just changed the color of the pant. Now, because of this change in this color of the pant, like the combination of the dress has changed now. The pants are white instead of black. So now in this, I generated like 8 iterations here, right? Now these are the 8 iterations. Let's see. So this is the first iteration. I got something like a polo neck here with this shade of gray. Now, if you see the gray shade is like differing in all the images or it's different from what we have here, right? So now I can see that, okay, first of all, I'm not getting a t-shirt consistent. Some of the images I'm getting a round neck t-shirt. Some of the images I'm getting a polo neck t-shirt. Some of the images I'm getting a shirt as well. So it's not a consistent dress. I can see that shirt is not coming too much, but round neck t-shirt and polo neck t-shirts are coming way too much. Right. So now I have a doubt that should I keep a round neck t-shirt or a polo neck t-shirt? Because two or three images are coming as round neck t-shirt, two or three images are coming as polo neck t-shirt. So now if I randomly choose something, like let's say instead of checking if the polo neck t-shirt or the round neck t-shirt are coming consistent, if I randomly choose one, it might lead to inconsistencies or it might lead to me willingly changing dresses every time. Like what I mean by this is, let's say that I just saw here that few of the images are coming as round neck t-shirt, few of them are coming as polo neck t-shirt. Now I did not check if the round neck is coming consistent or not. I just kept the round neck t-shirt as something I want to keep. Now while making the images for the episode, I realized that the round neck t-shirt is not coming consistent. Now out of 20 images, 10 or 12 of them are not consistent. Now, all those 10 or 12 images, I'll have to make it consistent manually by using brush and something. Right. Instead of that, you could have taken 1 or 2 minutes in the starting itself and you could have checked if the round neck is coming consistent or not. Like, let's say, for example, here in the second go, what I did was I just wrote here few things like I need a half sleeve t-shirt, and I need a round neck t-shirt. So I specified that I need a gray t-shirt that is supposed to be a half sleeve t-shirt, and it's also supposed to be a round neck t-shirt. This is what I wanted. Right. Now I generated it 8 times again. Now first go, I got a round neck t-shirt, half sleeve, but it was not gray. Second time I got a shirt looking t-shirt. Like it's almost a shirt, right? Now this is a t-shirt. Now this is a t-shirt. So now in first generation, or like out of these four images, I can see that two of them are like consistent round neck t-shirt, but one of them is a shirt, one of them is a white t-shirt. Still not satisfied with this prompt. Right, now we're talking about prompts here. Now I'm not satisfied with this prompt because this prompt is not giving me a consistent result. Right, so now I generate it once more. Now in the second time, I got a t-shirt that is a bit darker shade, but it's not half sleeve. Right. So again, not satisfied. Now here again, it was not a half sleeve t-shirt. Now here I got a half sleeve t-shirt, but the color is not like these two. So again, a different color from these two. Now again, a different shade from these two, but almost similar. These two are almost similar. But if I look at all these 8 generations, I can see that this is still a consistent kind of dress like this one, right? We are getting out of 8 images, 4 of them we are getting it like this, like, a half sleeve t-shirt with round neck t-shirt with this particular shade of gray. But are these 4 generations enough for me to make this dress as my reference dress? Because I have generated 8 images here. Out of 8, 4 of them I'm getting as consistent dresses. So now it's a 50-50% chance. If I am now keeping this dress as a reference dress for me, let's say this one, and now I'm generating, like, let's say a episode, like using this dress, maybe half of the images I'll get it like this, half of them I don't. So now those half of the images I'll have to manually change. It'll be a bit of task. So should I go for this dress or not? Maybe let me check few other prompts because I'm not still satisfied with this. I was not satisfied with this as a prompt because I was getting different kinds of dress. So style of the dress was not matching here. First go, right? Second go, I'm getting a 50-50% chance that the style and the color I'm getting it, but it's a 50-50% chance, right? So I'm still not satisfied with it. Third go, what we did was, instead of, so in the first go, I realized that half of the images are in polo t-shirts, half of them is in round t-shirt. I was not sure if the polo t-shirt is coming consistent or the round neck is coming consistent. So I chose to go with the round neck. I specified in the prompts that I need a round neck t-shirt. I generated it like 2 times. I generated 8 images to check if the round neck t-shirt is coming consistent or not. Out of the 8 images, I felt like half of them are round neck, but I was still not satisfied. So let me check the polo t-shirt. Maybe the polo t-shirts will be consistent enough. So I just wrote here in this particular image, I just mentioned that I need a half sleeve polo t-shirt here. Nothing else changes. Right now in this polo t-shirt, right? Out of 8 images, almost, like, let's say here, this one is not looking like a polo t-shirt, it's looking like a shirt, right? And this one again is looking a bit like a shirt, except these 2 images. 6 images, I am getting a decent polo t-shirt here, half sleeve polo t-shirt, right? So now, first thing, style. I am sure that for style, if I have to choose a dress with a white pant for this particular character, I'll go with a polo t-shirt, not a round neck t-shirt. Now, I was getting a round neck t-shirt here easily, even without mentioning that I need a round neck t-shirt, because the combination of the dress, like black pant and gray t-shirt, was giving me this kind of dress consistently, even without describing the dress in detail. But here, even after describing the dress in detail, I was not getting a decent, consistent dress. So I know that for this combination, like white pant and gray t-shirt, round neck is not coming consistent, but polo necks are still coming consistent. So style is sure. Now, if I have to use this combination only, I can see that for some, because sometimes there is a specification in the story that the character is wearing a white pant. So I cannot change that white pant into a black pant. I have to keep it as white pant. So now if I don't have the authority to change the color of the dresses, I can still check for the style that okay, if I have to keep this same like let's say combination of dresses, that okay, it should be gray t-shirt and white pant. Should I go for a round neck or should I go for a polo neck? Now here I can see that for this white pant, polo necks are still better results. Polo necks are giving me better results than the round necks. So now I am pretty sure that okay, if I have to choose this, I'll go for a polo neck. But in this polo neck, I can see that few of the images, the collar is coming as a blue or black kind of collars, which I don't want. So now, in this example, what I did was I checked with a negative prompt. Now, someone asked yesterday, right, that how do we write or mention negative prompts? So whenever you see here, I just described in this example, I just described that I need a polo shirt. I never mentioned that the polo shirt's collar is supposed to be black. It's just randomly giving me a black collar, even though I did not mention it as like a black collar. So now things that we don't mention in the prompt and we still get in a image which we don't want. We can describe it in the negative prompt so that these things that we describe in a negative prompt will not come in the image. So now in this example, what I did was I tried. Now this negative prompt is not like 100%, it will not give you 100% accurate results, because this negative prompt is something that the AI tries to not include in the image, but it's not 100% surety that you'll get a specific result. Like let's say imagine that I'm writing a black suit, and every time I write a black suit I'm getting a tie in it. Let's say, even though I did not mention in the prompt that I need a black suit with a tie, but every time I'm writing a black suit, I'm getting a tie. And I don't want a tie for some reason. Right? So I can describe in the negative prompt that I don't need a tie. I can just write a tie in the negative prompt, but this does not mean that 100% guarantee that I will not get a tie. There are chances that it will like not include the tie in the image, but there are still chances that the tie will still be there, because somewhere or the other in the prompt, because of something or the other in the prompt, this color is coming as black. So now negative prompt is something that we can try to keep something consistent, but it's not 100% surety that you'll get a best result out of it. But here, so again, in the negative prompt, I wrote blue and black collar. Also, I wrote shirt so that I don't end up getting shirt as a result, right? So I generated 8 times. Now, out of 8 images, now I was not getting like a collar here, but 2 of them again came with a black collar. In the second go, I got 3 images with no black collar, but 1 of them again came with a black collar. So now I know that okay, even after mentioning that I don't want a black collar in the images, I'm still getting a black collar in images. So now there is nothing else I can do here. I have to use this black collar. Now there are 2 things here. Like we discussed yesterday. Every time you have to choose an image, check for a decent image first of all. So now if I have to choose an image out of these 4 images and I have 3 other options to choose from, I'll not go with this. Like why would I ever choose this image if I can choose this? Right? So if you have other options to choose from and that other options are as good as this one, don't go for this one. It's not that you cannot use this and tell you how to use this one, but if you have other options to choose from, go for the other options first. Look for the best option out of your options present or available at the moment and choose the best one that you can, like the option that you should choose should require the minimum efforts from your side. So if you are choosing this image, You should only choose this image when this requires the minimum effort. Now, by this we mean that sometimes, let's say you want a particular pose, you also want a particular background, and you also want a particular dress. So now out of the four options, maybe this is the best option in terms of pose and background, because you are getting the perfect pose in this image and the perfect background in this image, but only the dress is not right here. So maybe if I am looking at all the four options I have here, I am feeling like this is my best option, because maybe in this image, the dress is right, but the background is not right. Maybe in this image, the pose is not right. Maybe in this image, nothing is right. So, from my perspective, this is the right result, or the most, how do I say, the least amount of work is required on this image, because in this I might have to play around with the background, which again will take time. In this I might have to play around with the pose, which will again take time, or it'll be hard to do. So this is like an easier go for me. So if that is the case, if you don't have any other options left, then fine. But if you have other options, don't go for something like this. Right now, in case that you don't have that option, you have to choose this particular image, so then choose it. Right now, very simple thing to do. Let me just show you. So now here, all you have to do is pick the gray shade, pick a brush, opacity low, like keep the opacity like somewhere here, right? Paint on top of it. Now you can be pretty bad at painting. Like you don't have to be very precisely painting here. You just have to give an AI an understanding that you need a gray color here. Mask it and you'll get a gray color. As simple as that. Right. So now, by this example, we are pretty much sure that first of all, different color combinations will give you different results. So now, by this, we understand that if this is, let's say, for example, this is the shade of gray you kept as a consistent, because maybe with the black pant you were getting this as the shade of gray. Let's say, for example, maybe you're getting this, right? But now if you are changing the combination of the dresses for the same character, you cannot just judge that if I was getting this color of gray with black pant, I'll get the same gray with white pant. It can differ. So never blindly choose colors or shades without checking it first, because different color combinations will change the shades. So first thing, check the shades, check the style. If you are not sure about the style, check more iterations, check for different prompts. What prompt is giving you better results? Like here, we saw that few images were in polo, few in round neck. So we checked for both the things. Am I getting a consistent or decent or round neck t-shirts or polo neck t-shirts? After checking it, we realized that the polo necks are coming decent, consistent. So we went with a polo neck. We then checked how to get that polo neck better. So maybe by writing something in the negative prompt, we're getting a better result, but maybe still not sure. So then for, of course, I'm going to keep a polo neck t-shirt, but in few of the images where the collar will be black or blue, I'll change it using in painting. As simple as that. Right. Now there is a third case. So now for the same character, now here what I did was I changed the pants again. So nothing else changes. Just I mentioned the blue jeans. So now same thing, because the color combination changed here. It's not a black pant, it's not a white pant, it's a blue jeans now. So because of that, the color of the t-shirt that you are getting here will be different. This is the color you were getting with black pant. Maybe something else was the color when you were getting a white pant, but this is the color you are getting when you are when you want a blue jeans as a combination. So first of all, combination matters. With combination changes, the color will also change. Sometimes the color of the jeans will also change. Now, because it's a gray t-shirt, right? So now this is the kind of jeans you're getting, like a darker jeans. But maybe if you'll go with a blue t-shirt or white t-shirt, maybe the jeans color will also change, because you have not described what shade of blue you want for the jeans. You have just written a blue jeans, right? So now this blue jeans can be a lighter blue jeans, can be a bit more darker blue jeans, can be different shades of jeans. So now all these color combinations will change with what you are keeping as a shirt, what you're keeping. So now this color of this t-shirt will depend on somewhere on this blue, or the color of the jeans will also depend on this gray. And now don't do this. Now imagine, let's say, with for this combination, right? For gray shirt, sorry, gray t-shirt and blue jeans, I'm getting something like this as a result. Like I'm getting this as a color combination, let's say, right? So now if you are getting this as a color combination, and you can see that this combination, that is this jeans color, is consistent, almost consistent in all the images wherever you're getting jeans. So don't change the color of the jeans like this. I have seen people doing this. That, okay, I need a blue jeans, so I'll just change it to blue jeans like this. Why will you change the color of the blue to something else if you are getting this shade of jeans consistent? Because if you do, it's not a wrong thing to make the changes, but you have to realize that if you change this color of the blue manually in one image, you'll have to change it in every image. So if you're changing something, think about it, that if changing this color in one jeans, will it affect all the images? Do I have to, change this color in every image? Will it come by prompt or not? So first thing about dresses is you have to always check if prompt is giving you that color or not. If it's not, don't try to change it. Because if you change it manually, you'll have to change it manually in all the images. So try to get that consistent colors by writing prompt. If you need this shade of blue, try changing something in the prompt. Try changing prompts as, instead of just writing a blue jeans, try writing a light blue jeans. Try writing a bright blue jeans. Try writing a lighter shade of blue jeans. Something in the prompt. Just change something in the prompt and see what you are getting there. Right. Okay. So now in this particular example, we wrote a gray t-shirt and blue jeans. Now these are the 8 iterations I got here. So now I was getting something like this. Right. Now here I can see that, okay. So for these images, I can see that the t-shirt is still coming consistent. Like 2 images are in shirt, that is fine. 6 of them are in t-shirt. So t-shirt is okay, it's coming consistent, but the sleeves are not consistent. Like sleeves are still, some of them are coming as full sleeve, some of them are coming as, a half sleeve. Also the shades are not consistent, like the shades are pretty much not consistent. It's like lighter shade or darker shade or a very different shade, right? So shades are still not consistent. So now I can understand from this one that, okay, shades are not coming consistent, first thing. Second thing is the sleeves of the dress are not coming consistent. So now, can I be more specific about sleeves and the shade of the dress, so that I get a defined shade and the sleeves? So in the next go, I just described that, okay, I need a dark gray t-shirt and I need a half sleeve t-shirt. Right. So now in this one, okay, because of that dark gray as the prompt there, like out of 8 images, 6 of them I'm getting a decent dark gray t-shirt here. Right. And a consistent dark gray t-shirt here. So now I know that, okay, instead of just mentioning a gray t-shirt, I can be more specific. I can go for dark gray t-shirt so that I get a consistent dark gray here, because gray was not giving me a consistent result, but dark gray is still giving me a consistent result. So can I go for a darker gray as my prompt so that I get decent consistent results? Right. So now by these examples, first of all, you are pretty much clear. I hope you guys are pretty much clear about how styles and colors get affected by prompts, and how you should define or choose a particular reference for the dress by writing or selecting a dress, or by writing, trying different prompts and then choosing a dress. So, like, blindly choosing a dress will lead to inconsistencies. Now, how exactly this leads to inconsistencies? Because if you did not check, like, imagine if you just went for a particular shade of gray or a particular style here, like, let's say you just chose that this is the t-shirt I will keep. Now, maybe you did not check if this t-shirt is coming consistent or not, or a different t-shirt is coming consistent or not. Now you're making one episode or two episodes. Sometimes it's like three or four episodes in the same dress. Now you will struggle a lot to keep this dress consistent. So now in those cases, you have to realize that the dresses now, if the dresses are not consistent, by writing a prompt, changing something manually is again one thing. You can do it. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, that how exactly do you change dresses. It's not an impossible task to change the dresses to something else, but it's a very easy thing to get a consistent dress by writing a prompt, because half of your problems will be solved if you just write something by prompt and you get a consistent dress. Because now we're talking only about dresses, so if you're getting a decent consistent dress by writing a prompt, half of your problems about dress will be solved. You don't have to manually edit something. So even small to small things like belt color, button color, this or that, anything specific you need in the dress, try writing it in the prompt and then change it, so that you'll get a decent dress there consistently every time without changing it. Okay, so yeah, let's look upon one more example. So let's say same thing here. Now this is a female character. Now I want her to wear a blue sleeveless long dress. Right now, instead of just going for a blue gown, I can be specific, because I just realized that giving a more complex prompt, not complex, but detailed prompt is giving me better results. So maybe instead of just giving a gown or a blue gown, let me be a little bit more specific. Let me be specific in terms of sleeve or length. So I wrote here that I need a blue gown that should be sleeveless and that is also long. And I need a blue heels, so and so, right? So now in this example, I was getting, okay, so I'm getting this as my dress here. Right. I got these four dresses. Now in these four dresses, I can see, first thing that I can see is I am getting a slit in all the dresses. Right. So now my first question is, do I need a slit in the dress? If yes, then fine. If not, then I'll try to avoid it. Because getting a slit is again a hard thing. Because in some images you'll get a slit, in some images you'll not get a slit. Now even the slit has to be consistent. The length of the slit, the leg on which, like, let's say here, I can see that she has a slit on the right side of the dress. Like, according to me, if I'm looking at it's the right leg for me, right? So now I have to maintain the slit on the right leg. For her, it's her left leg, right? So the slit should always be present on her left leg. It cannot go from left leg to right leg to left leg. It should always be there. The length should be same. The style should be same. But now it's a difficult thing to do, right? Also, the colors are not pretty consistent. Like, it's looking way too duller. It's now brighter, right? So I'm not really liking this, right? So now maybe let's try something else. So first thing was, I was not okay with the color there. Like, this shade of blue is something, I don't like this shade of blue. It's way too dull, right? So maybe what if I just mention that I need a brighter blue? Right now, you can have different prompts here. You can go for light blue, dark blue, so and so. Like, be specific about the colors. I just use a random prompt. I just wrote the word bright in it. Now I'm getting something like this. I'm getting a little bit better blue from what I was getting, a little bit more brighter blue here, and I'm okay with this, right? So now I'm getting something like this, but again, now here I did mention slit in the negative prompt, but even after mentioning slit here, I'm still getting a dress with a slit in it. So now, first thing, I'm pretty sure that the slit is something that is not avoidable by mentioning it in the negative prompt. Right, that's fine. If I need a slit, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'll remove it. Now, how to remove it, we'll come to that. We'll come to that in a minute. So now one thing is sure that if I need a blue gown, first thing, I'll not go for a blue gown, rather I'll go for a bright blue gown because the blue gown is giving me a very dull kind of blue color which I'm not liking. So I'll go for a bright as the prompt so that I'll get something like this here. Right. And for slit, I want to remove it. But here, one more thing I can see that like the dress is pretty much consistent. Like this V neck is pretty much consistent in all the dresses. Like there is no extra belt and stuff here and there. So it's okay. But one more thing along with that, if you notice, this sandals are like way consistent in all the images. Now the sandal looks like this here. The sandal look no, not in this one, sorry, in this, in a different example I'll show you. So now here one thing is the color blue is pretty much consistent, or I'm liking the color blue here, right? It's okay. If I need this dress, I'll go for the bright blue as prompt, not blue, right? But I'm still not okay with the dress because something like this, right? Something like this, or the dress flying too much here and there sometimes make the images look weird, right? Or the dress, like let's say sometimes the dress are like way too bodycon, sometimes the dress are like way too bulgy here and there. So I'm not very sure about this dress. So let me try other prompts. Also, sometimes if you don't exactly want a long dress, let's say, go for a short dress, go for a knee length dress so that this slit will not be problem there. Because if you imagine, if there is no specification that the girl is supposed to wear a long dress, go for a knee length dress and you don't have to worry about the slit there. So in the next example, I just tried a different prompt that okay, maybe if I write a midi dress instead of a long gown, what will I get? So I'm getting something like this. Now, definitely I'm getting a midi dress, but this midi dress again is not a way consistent dress because the sleeves are not consistent, even though I've described in the form that the sleeves are supposed to be like sleeve, the dress is supposed to be sleeveless, but it's some of the images I'm still getting the sleeves. The dress is also not consistent, like in terms of the neck, it's not very consistent. In terms of the length, also, it's not consistent. Like in one image, the length is like this, in one, it's like this, and one is like this. So now I'm still not okay with this. So if I want a midi, if I want a blue gown, I'll not go with a midi dress. This is also for sure, right? Now let me check a different prompt. What if I write a bodycon dress instead of midi dress? Right. Maybe a bodycon dress will give me this better result. So now for bodycon dresses, I'm getting this. So now, okay, maybe in bodycon dresses, at least the neckline is way more consistent, or the neck, or this V kind of neck is way more consistent. Even the like length of the dress is pretty much okay. I'm okay with that, and there is no extra belt, this and that here. So okay dress, still not a very good dress, but okay. If I need a dress, like if I want her to wear a blue dress, I'll rather go for a bodycon dress than going for a long dress, because bodycon dresses are easier for me to make, like even if I have to change something to bodycon. Because see, if I am keeping this as my dress, let's say something like this, I have to be pretty much sure that how much, like how exactly the dress should be, because if this is like this, it should be like this. It cannot go from, let's say, first of all, I don't like this flowing kind of dresses because it looks weird in some cases. But okay, even if I just forget this flowing of the dress in just for a minute, right? I have to be pretty much sure that what kind of dress I am keeping. If the dress is like this, it should be like this. If the dress is like this, it should be like this. If the dress is supposed to be like this kind of dress, it's supposed to be like this kind of dress. So I have to be pretty much sure that what kind of dress do I need here. If I'm keeping like puffy kind of dress, it should be puffy there. It cannot go from the dress being like this to a dress being like bodycon dress. So that is one thing easier to maintain in bodycon dresses because it's bodycon, right? So I can just I can just keep it as bodycon dress very very easily. I can get any dress into a bodycon dress. I don't have to worry about if this is flowing too much or too less. Right. So if I have to go for this character, I'll go for a bodycon dress because I'm getting a pretty much decent color and the neck is also decent. Length and all those things, I can maintain it. Okay. Now we'll talk about how to keep this consistent. Now let's say for a different character, right? Same thing for a different character. Now this is a different character, same blue dress, right? Blue sleeveless long gown and blue heel. Now this is what I'm getting. Right. Now, in this case, one thing that I can see is I'm getting a lot of different things on, like the belt or the bow or something like this present in the images. And this is not consistent because in one image, I'm getting some belt. In one image, I'm getting a different belt. In one image, I'm getting a bow. In one image, I'm not getting anything. So it's a very random choice. So now if I decide to go for a belt and stuff, I'll have to check if I'm getting this belt consistent or not. And I'm pretty much sure it will not come as consistent because if I mention a belt, right, it'll give me a random belt. So instead of that, now here I can see that, okay, in some of the images I'm getting a bow, in some of the images I'm getting a belt. So can I just remove it? Because removing the belt here is way easier for me to keeping it consistent. So then in this case, okay, first thing is I don't want any extra accessories on the dress, like belt, no bows, nothing. So I'll remove it. Second thing, let's talk about the length, pretty much consistent, the style pretty much consistent. Now this dress looks fine because see, if you see in all the images, the dress has a pretty much consistent shape. It's not way too bulky, it's not way too bodycon looking. It's okay to keep this dress, but there's a problem with this slit. So let's also try if mentioning slit in the negative prompt will not give me a slit in the dress, right? But the neck is consistent, the color is consistent, the length is consistent, the style of the dress is pretty much consistent. I just don't want extra belts on the dress and I don't want that slit on the dress, right? So then in that case, let us try one image here. Now here nothing, just a slit, belt and bow. I don't want these things. So after mentioning this, this is what I'm getting. Now in one image I did not get something, but here again I got a slit, right? Now the slit also changed. Now here the slit was a longer slit. Let's say the slit was from here, but now the slit got changed to from knees. Now again it looks different, right? Again the slit got changed, the color got changed. Again this got changed, right? So now I know that, okay, by changing prompts or by mentioning something here in negative prompt, it's not giving me a good result. Rather, it's giving me more inconsistent results. Like here, at least the style and the color was consistent. Here, even the color got changed. Like I got a different color here. I got a different style of neck here. I got a different style of dress here. So in this case, I'll not mention things in negative prompt. I'll just remove if I have to use this dress, I'll use the same prompt. I'll just remove this extra accessories using magic eraser and I'll remove this slit. Now how to remove those slit and stuff, let's talk about that. Right. So now imagine I have these two dresses. Right. These two dresses. Now there can be two different ways to work around with slits. So now one way is, this was the dress. I just used the magic eraser and the slit is gone. So I got something like this. Now again, I'll have to impaint it once. That we do, right? Like we'll have to impaint the full body once, then we'll impaint the head, Then we'll paint the hand. That is like there. But here, at least the slit is gone and the quality is decreased. Here it looks odd, all this thing, but this will be sorted once I paint it. Right. But the slit is gone here. Now the second way of working around with that is maybe I'll just use a paintbrush. I'll just pick a blue color from here and I'll just mark it. Now this blue, while choosing, let's say you're painting blue here, I'll not keep the opacity here. Why we keep the opacity low while making dresses is because I want the AI to know that, let's say I want to change the color, right? Then I'll keep the opacity something like this, because then I'll want the AI to look at the creases that is below this dress. But now here, because I'm removing this slit, I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about this opacity here. I can take it like this, because I have to remove the slit, right? So I don't want the AI to look at the things at the back of the slit, because then it will again give me a slit. So I'll not worry about the opacity. I'll just patch a color on top of this mask in paint, write a prompt, like the same prompt, and now this is what I'll get from this. So now from these two images, like let's say this was the initial image, this is what I got. This was the initial image, this is what I got. So now removing the slit is very easy task. You can use a magic eraser to remove it, or you can paint on top and remove it. Very easily doable. Same thing can be done with in case of accessories. If you have something like this, just use magic eraser and remove it. In some cases, if you feel like magic eraser is not working, like maybe you did magic erase on this but still not giving you a very good result, just add color on top of it and then imprint it. Very easily doable, but both the ways work, right? Same thing goes with the color. Now let's say this was the initial image, right? And I wanted to change the color of the dress. So what will I do? I'll just pick this color, whatever color I wanted here. I'll just pick this color, put it here. Now here the opacity is low. And I need the opacity to be low because I need the AI to look at all these creases. I need the AI to look at there's a line here, there's a crease like this here and there, right? And I'll just impaint it, and now this is what I'll get. So I've changed this dress to something like this very easily. Right. So now this is how you work around with dresses. First of all, you have to make sure that whatever dress you are choosing are coming consistently, especially for people who plan for shows. Make sure that whatever dresses you are choosing are consistent enough, because the other artists are using it. For other artists who are referring a dress master, make sure you check the dresses once before using it directly. So just blindly don't follow the dress masters. Check if your dresses are coming consistent with that character or not. If it's not coming consistent, do talk about it. If it's coming decent, consistent, if you feel like, yeah, that's workable, just work around it. Now, let's say in some cases, no matter what you write, you'll never get a consistent dress. Now there are different difficult dresses. Like let's say for example, uh, there are dresses that has to be like in a particular way, but that's difficult to keep. Now, for example, a rescue dress, it can be a hospital, surgery dress, or sometimes there are different dresses that you have to specifically, make it look like a particular way, because that is how the story flows. But you're not getting a consistent dress by prompt. So in those cases, it's very easy for you to use in painting and this brush tool to make something very consistent. Now, imagine that these are the three dresses, right? So now these are the three dresses, or sometimes, okay, also, sometimes what happens is I have checked that this is the dress, like let's say this is the consistent dress coming. While if I mention a prompt as blue gown, blue sleeveless long gown. But sometimes imagine you're making an image in which there are four characters in it. Now all the four characters are wearing different dresses because of the mention or the prompts in, like, in the prompt section about the other characters as well. Sometimes this dress will also get affected because maybe you're mentioning that character A, that is this character, is wearing a blue long gown. The character B is wearing a short red dress. The character C is also wearing a black short dress. The character, like, let's say the fourth character is wearing a suit. That's a male character. So now all the four characters are wearing four different dresses. And because of all those four dresses in your prompt, this dress might get affected. Even though you have mentioned it as a long gown, you might get a short gown because of there are a lot of things in the prompt. So in those cases, even though you checked that the dress is coming consistent, like when you check it for an individual character, but while getting an image with multiple characters, your dress got messed. So in those cases, it's very easy to fix dresses. Now here there are three examples, three images. Same character, but three completely different dresses. Right. Now here the neck is different, the length is different, right? Here's a different dress, and here is a very different dress. I have to choose one dress because I also have to worry about the pose and other stuff. So I chose these three images. But in these three images, the dresses are not consistent. So let me make the dresses consistent. In some cases, you'll get the dress consistent. In some cases, you have to make it consistent. Now, making a dress consistent is again easy thing, right? If you want this, like let's say if you want a bodycon dress here, right, with a length as like a knee length bodycon dress with the V neck as a shape, right? So now just use this. I'll remove this so that you can see. Now see, this was the initial dress. I did nothing. I just used this color, picked this color from brush, painted it here to remove all these dress, right? And then picked out this color because the color was different. It was a lighter blue here and I needed this kind of blue. So I picked this blue and then painted. Can you see it very roughly on top of this to make a bodycon dress, right? Now this was the initial image. I just masked this and now this is the image I'm getting. Right, same thing done here. Now here I wanted the length to be like knee length, so I did here knee length, removed things from here. Like, let's say, let me just, yeah, I removed all things from here and made it like a full bodycon dress with no slits and stuff, right? And now this is what I got. Same thing here. I wanted the neckline to be different, like not a round neck, but a V neck. So I changed it here. Also, I changed the length. So the length was not right here. So I increased the length and I changed the V neck to V neck, right? And now this is what I got. So now if you can see here, these were the initial images, right? And this is the final image I'm getting. So no matter what I have here, no matter what you get as a dress, right, you can make consistent dresses by using your paintbrush and in painting. Very easily doable. But even for this, you have to understand that what kind of dresses or what particular prompt will give you a decent result. So now all these things that we talked about here, these examples, this is necessary because if you already know that this particular prompt is giving you a decent consistent dress, then like maybe out of 20 images, 15 images, you don't have to worry about the dresses. You'll get 15 images with a decent dress, decent consistent good dresses. Only 5 images you might have to worry about. So those 5 images, no matter what dress you got, length is different, style is different, color is different, just use your paintbrush, paint it, and then you'll get a consistent dress. Right. So this is again after you make something, but this step or understanding which prompt will give you what, this is again important for you to get those 15 images consistent. Because if you don't understand this concept, and if you don't decide a dress, nicely, if you don't decide a consistent dress in the first go, then out of 20 images, maybe you'll only get 5 dresses consistent, and rest of the 15 images you're working to make the dress consistent. So now you'll take lot of time, because maybe 20 images this character is coming, and only 5 images you get a decent dress. All those 15 rest of the 15 images, you are working, struggling to get the dress consistent. All the 15 images you're using paint brushes, this and that, and then in painting and trying to make it look like the rest of the 5 images. So instead of that, just use your time in the starting, before starting an episode, check the dresses, check if the dresses are coming consistent. If you feel like if it is consistent, then go ahead, generate the images. Few images that comes inconsistent even after mentioning those words in the prompt, then do this and make it consistent. Okay, now same thing here. Now these were the images, 2 different dresses, 2 different lengths of dresses, 2 different shades of dresses. The shade of the pant is also different, right? But very easily doable. You just have to pick this color, patch on top of this, that is, sorry, paint on top of this, right? And then choose this color, paint on top of this, mask it, write a prompt, and this is what you'll get. Now here I just remove this pocket. Right, use a magic eraser, remove the pocket, and now this is the dress you're getting. These were your initial dresses. This is what you're getting. This is what you can get. So even though, after mentioning it in the prompts, if you got something like this, then change it like this. Right. So now, let's say, when we talk about details, right, like there were three important points to worry about in clothes. The style of the dress should be consistent, the color of the dress should be consistent, and the details, right? So in details, now sometimes, let's say, color of the buttons get changed, right? Sometimes you are making the suit, and in few of the images the suit is an open suit, in few of the images the suit is a closed suit, right? In t-shirt, sometimes images come with pocket or no pocket in it. Sometimes the sleeve is different. Yeah, sometimes in gowns the length might be different. There might be some extra accessories on the dress, right? Sometimes the shoes or the sandals of the character come as inconsistent, right? Sometimes in hoodies you get few hoodies with, the zip in front. Sometimes you get a hoodie without a zip in front, right? So in all those cases, I'll show you one thing before we move to this. Yeah, so in this example, if you see, along with the dress being consistent, even the shoes or sandals were consistent. So here if you see, this is how the sandal looks, this is how the sandal looks, and this is how the sandal looks here. Same sandals in all the 3 images. So whenever you need something specific, now if you talk about details in the dress, if you need a specific color of buttons, then mention it in the prompts that you need a black button on top of this. If you want the suit to be closed all the time, then instead of just writing that the character is wearing a black suit, mention it as the black open suit or closed suit or a three-piece suit, or only a blazer or a t-shirt like inside the suit. Mention whatever you need. If you need a t-shirt with pocket, then mention that there is a pocket on the t-shirt. If you don't want a pocket, mention it in the negative prompts, right? If you need a specific sleeve, mention it in the prompts. If you don't want, if you, let's say, if you want a white shoe, instead of just writing that the character is wearing a white t-shirt and black pant, and then getting random shoes in random images. In one image you got a white shoe, in one image you got a black shoe, and then you're struggling to keep that shoe consistent. Mention the shoe in the prompt so that every time you write a white shoe, you get a white shoe. Style, you can keep it consistent. You don't worry about a lot of style. But if you want a white shoe, just mention a white shoe. If you want a white, let's say, sandal, mention a white sandal. Let it be a white sandal, white heel, so and so and so. Right. So first thing, whenever you talk about details, try and understand that the prompts will affect your images. If you need something in your image or you don't need something in your image, try to get it using prompts. Try to get your images or try to get a decent dress by using prompts. Now, so this is your ideal solution for dresses. Every time you have a situation, try to fix it using prompts first thing, because you have to understand the problem will not arise only for one image, it will arise for a lot of episodes, because one dress can come in lot of episodes, right? So you should try to avoid those by writing prompts. Second thing, if in case even after mentioning things in the prompts it's not working, then use tools present here and in paint it. So in case, if you, let's say if you want a t-shirt shirt with, let's say, white, one image came with a white button, one image came with a black button. Now you want the button to be either white or either black. So then first thing is, if you feel like, check in the images, like check with the prompts first, that okay, out of 8 images, am I getting the buttons color consistent while generating the images? If the button is an issue, to mention it in the prompts. If you feel like half of the images are coming with white buttons, half of the images are coming in black buttons, mention it in the prompt that along with him wearing a white shirt, I also need the buttons to be white, or I need the buttons to be black. So that every time you'll write that, you'll get a black button or a white button. Now, in case, even after mentioning in the prompts, you still got a different color buttons, then just use a paintbrush and make it white. Like just see, just on this particular image, just put a white color on top of this, right? And then in paint it, you'll get a white button. As simple as that, right? Or if you want a black t-shirt, sorry, a black button, just paint black on top of this, you'll get something like this, right? Now this is what you get. Either you change this white button to black button, or you change this black button to white button. Easily doable, right? So any case, any scenario here, anything here, or anything else in any dress, whatever you need, try to get it with prompts. If you don't get it by prompts, or if you miss out, sometimes we even miss things. Okay, I missed out that, maybe because we might use comic palette and stuff and we are not sure that how this thing will come. So after using comic palette, we got different results. So then use your paintbrush in paint it and get it consistent. So you cannot say that, oh, I wrote something and gave me this. You as an AI artist have the responsibility to get it consistent. Right. So if you are not getting something consistent, check with the prompts. If prompts are fine, then make it consistent using brush and in paint it and you'll get it consistent.